He suggested we go to one of the saunas, and I was like, oh, lovely. Like, never been to the European saunas before, but heard that.
Are you still dating her?
Yes, she's in the audience, actually. I'm not sure for half.
And then all of a sudden, my husband comes out the shower naked.
No,
Then he looked at us and he said, "You mean the nipples?"
It's quite a good story, but I'm still gonna say.
The last two had good legs.
Yeah, very
good legs.
Yeah, trained dancers.
This is, I'm very impressed. You have a new novel. How many have you done now?
This is number 5.
Number 5. Really impressed. And this is only really in like
Since
a little over 10 years.
Yeah, since I turned 50,
Yeah.
I started writing fiction, and it's the disconnect between who I am on television and the person who writes these books is enormous, because these are really kind of quiet books.
Yes.
You know, this one, it's a story of a life, and it's a young woman growing up a traumatic childhood in Ireland. She ends up leaving Ireland, going to London, ending up in New York in the 1960s. And it's a kind of epic tale, but there was no clue that I wrote it. You know, you would just think, it's like I went into a shop, read a book, that's quite good, and then ripped the cover off and put my thing on it, because it's not me.
Absolutely not you, save for the fact that this fascinating woman in the book is telling her story to her Irish sort of caregiver, who is very good at getting these good stories out of her, which is, of course, what you do every day.
And, of course, I hadn't noticed the parallel to my life till I finished the book, and somebody goes, it's the most obvious thing, kind of like, and obviously this is based on you. I was like, oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. Young Irish gay guy getting people to tell stories. I see where you're going.
Ticks every single box. You also, obviously, you're here. We're letting people know you have this great new book. You cannot, or you choose not, to promote that you have a book on your show.
I'm not allowed.
Really?
On the BBC, you're not allowed to promote your own stuff.
Because they think it's not, it's uncouth to be a person?
Well, one, it's uncouth.
Yeah.
You gotta go. I've written a really good book, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
It's also, there's no advertising on the BBC.
Ah.
Now, ignore the fact that everyone's on my show promoting films, albums.
Yeah.
We just,
when Tom Cruise is on, it's never just, he's like, I don't actually have anything.
Yeah, we never pick at that thread.
Okay.
We just let that happen. But as the host, I could never mention that, you know, I write books or that I write wine or anything else. Nothing.
Because you know, when us late night guys in the States, when we write a kid's book, we flog it like it's nobody's business.
I know. I see it so often. I think children can't read that fast. Slow down, everyone. So many children's books.
Yeah. Well, I also think it speaks to the level of what a sort of a talk show host in England and a talk show host in America. You've written 5 novels. I've written 1 kid's book where, like, I didn't even do the drawings.
And they were big.
Oh, they were big drawings. Do you feel, I mean, again, this is... one, it's fiction about somebody telling stories, but of course, fiction is telling stories. You seem to have a very good ear for someone who can tell a good story. Do you think that helps you as a writer?
Maybe. I mean, I've you know, because I've heard a lot of stories, and you know what's a good one, what's a bad one. And I suppose I am quite good in the novels at kind of knowing when I need to kind of change the scene, end the scene, move the story along. You know, because people tell me that, you know, they're kind of easy to read, they're very readable.
Right.
And I guess that's where it comes from. Also, I think being Irish helps. I think Irish people, we just love stories in a kind of pure way. Like in the UK, I notice people enjoy stories, but only if they know someone in them. So it's like, it's someone from The Office or it's a celebrity or something. Irish people don't care. If it's a good story, it could be your brother-in-law's cousin's neighbor's aunt. We're in. If it's a good story, we're in. And I feel like there's an awful lot of fiction that comes out of that little island. You know, Ireland is small.
Very good at putting stories into the world.
At typing.
Yes, at typing. Did you, I mean, sort of in the moment, you were probably judging, even when it's a giant A-list star. This story is going well, this story is going badly. How, do you feel like you're good at showing restraint when a story is going off, or do you have to jump in and try to help?
I normally, I mean, if there's an easy way to end it, I will. Shut up!
That's certainly the easiest.
Save yourself. Run. I mean, Robert De Niro, who, has he been on here?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
I mean, he's a lovely, lovely man. I really like Robert De Niro, but he's not that chatty.
No, he's not,
And he's been on a normal amount of time, and I've discovered, and as you know, he's a benign presence. You know, it's not like he's having a horrible time. He's having a nice time.
He's having a really nice time.
He just doesn't like to talk very much. And he was on our show, it must have been about the 4th time he was on, and he was having such a nice time, he started to tell an anecdote. And we were like, oh my God, Robert De Niro is telling an anecdote. Well, it soon became clear why he doesn't. It was properly like, you know, one of those, like, old lady going, and it was on a Wednesday. No, I tell a lie, it was a Thursday. No, it would have been a Wednesday because I took the bins out the night before. So it was like that. And then it was going on for some time. And then, bless him, he could tell that this is spaghetti in my head. And, and then he looked at me and he went, why am I telling this?
He's like, I just came here to have a nice time.
We cut it out.
Okay, that's very kind. That's very kind of you to do. Yeah, I remember the first time he hosted SNL, and I had a wonderful time with him. And it was I think my first year on the show, and I got in an elevator, sort of ran to catch an elevator, not realizing he was the only other person in the elevator. And, you know, and that was not as exciting as that seemed, because he's so comfortable being quiet.
Oh, yes.
And so, you know, we're in the 17th floor, and it's just sort of a long, slow elevator. And at one point he goes, did you write that sketch? And I was like, I did. He goes, pretty good. And then just... And I was like, when I got off, I'm like, that's either the best or worst thing that ever happened to me, but...
Go with best.
I'll go with best. I'll go with
best.
Congratulations. Please, every time you come to the city, you have to come visit us.
It's such a nice place to be, and you've such a great team.
And we're gonna put a little, what's your alcohol of choice you want in the coffee next time?
Honestly, I don't care.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
As long as it's not water.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Graham Norton, everybody. Frankie is on sale now. We'll be right back.